With the commish, Nate.
I don't know why technology has to be so difficult all the time, but it doesn't matter. We're here. We're getting some things figured out. I am not live, as you can see, because my internet, cable, TV, everything completely out tonight. We had that big winter storm. Everybody, we all had that big winter storm about 2 months ago, whatever it was. And when the high winds came through, it completely messed something up that they have yet to figure out and fix. And so the internet has been completely crap for the last 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. So just to show you what I'm talking about, let's get over here. Watch. I was like, people probably don't believe me. Let's get a little music here. That's a little too loud. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's bring this up. All right, you see my display here. This is my little speed check. It won't even commit. this internet would not even come up. It took me 10 minutes to get into Madden. I pay for 1,000 download speed and 30 upload speed. And you can see we're not going to get to 1,000. We're not even going to get to 300, which 10 minutes ago we got 300 download and 0.7 upload. So the upload's better, but the download's way worse. So you can just see it's just complete crap. They can't figure it out. It's just extremely frustrating to have to deal with, but such is life, right? And those are some real first world problems. I had a big plan for tonight. I've been trying to do a show for like 8 days. No, it can't be 8 days because I did one like 2 Thursdays ago. I just had a free night, so I was able to do one. I've been trying to do one ever since. It just hasn't worked out. And so I was like, screw it. We're recording it tonight. I'm not going to be able to interact with you all. You're going to see this after the fact, but there's just a lot going on. We're in week number 18. The playoffs are going to be starting here in just a couple of days. We had a lot of movement with owners. We've got some FPR stuff we got to figure out. There's just a lot going on right now. And, I'm trying to wrap my head around it all, right? There's just a lot going on for me personally. Just work is really crazy. I'm a pastor of one, trying to create content. Tomorrow I'm off and Friday I'm off. And so I'm going to try to really get ahead of the game, get ready for the playoffs. But there's just a lot of moving parts right now. And it just becomes difficult to get a handle on. But I think it's important to do a press pass live tonight because there's just a lot to talk about. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into a quick look at the playoffs. I'm going to do my power rankings. We're going to open up the mailbag. Our guy Brady has the OMFL news in between all of that. We're going to talk about a commishes corner just to kind of wrap things up. And then I'm just going to kind of tell you where I stand with the league, with Madden, with just kind of everything that has kind of happened here as of late. And I just want to tell you one more time where I stand. And we're going to keep pushing forward and kind of worry about who's in our house and who's here because I believe in the guys that we have here. All right, let's look at the playoffs. These are potential if the playoffs ended right this second. Still a couple of games to be played, even though I think after my back-to-back losses, I think the NFC might be sewed up, though the Bears might have an opportunity to still be in it. Let's start with the NFC first, and then we'll work our way to the AFC. Right now, it'll be the Cardinals in the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed would be the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll spit it out. Number 3 seed would be the Detroit Lions. We'll spit that one out as well. And then the number 4 seed would be the Atlanta Falcons. Number 5 seed, the San Francisco 49ers. The number 6 seed, the Minnesota Vikings. And the number 7 seed is the Carolina Panthers, with, I think, Chicago still having an opportunity there. I'm going to pull up Beal's power ranking, or not power rankings, a playoff race that he does for us, because he always has some really, really good information. And I think he goes and does all the homework. And Madden doesn't tell us all of the people who are still kind of in the running. So let's pull it up real quick. Slow internet. Okay, looking at the NFC, still alive. He's got the Saints still alive. So I guess Chicago has lost and they're out of it. I don't see me being able to get in here. Let's see who the Panthers and Vikings play. Panthers, Vikings, 49ers. Let's see who they play. So I guess technically I still have an opportunity. So San Francisco is going to play the Los Angeles Rams, not Raiders. The Carolina Panthers are going to play the Atlanta Falcons. That's going to be a tough one, but Atlanta might have their seed sewed up. It looks like they do. They're locked in at the number 4 seed, so they might sit a couple of players. And then the Minnesota Vikings, where are we missing them? They're going to play Denver. And I think the Denver Broncos are actually out of town for a bit. And so I think he's going to get a CPU game. So there's not a whole lot of flexibility there. It looks like there may be a little movement in seed. Oh, come on, Madden. It's not Madden. It's internet, Nate. You know what it is. It looks like the NFC is going to be pretty sewed up, and that's going to leave us with some fun matchups. Trey is going to play our new owner with the Minnesota Vikings, whose name is, because all the movement, I forgot who went. That's right. It's going to be the Truth. So he's going to get to play Trey in that first game. Atlanta Falcons and San Francisco 49ers, two buddies going at it. That would be a really fun matchup. San Francisco has struggled here at the end of the year, but those two teams know each other really well as players. Kobe at the Atlanta Falcons is here because of Penguins in San Francisco. So we'll see. That'd just be a fun matchup. And then the same thing we got at the tippy top of this one. Dwayne's buddy that he bought in here, Panther Nation, would be matched up against each other. And that's a pretty tall task, because when it comes to the Jaguars, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, those three are kind of like the elite of the elite. There's some really good teams here still that we'll talk about, but those are like the elite of the elite. So pretty tall task. And then Arizona just kind of waiting for whoever would kind of move up from that one. It's hard to kind of give some predictions here. I didn't plan on doing a predictions show, but I guess we can go ahead and do a quick rundown. I would take the Dallas Cowboys to win that game. They would move to the bottom of that seed. I would take the Detroit Lions to win that game. My assumption is they would go ahead and play the Dallas Cowboys at the bottom of this bracket. And then I would take Kobe and the Atlanta Falcons to beat San Francisco. He would move up to play Arizona Cardinals. That would be another pretty tough task, but Kobe plays really well. That team is playing excellent football. He can run it, he can pass it. I think he would give D-Money a great game, but I would see D-Money winning that one. Then that would give us the Dallas Cowboys against Trey and the Detroit Lions. And some of me wants to just pick out of the box. I want to go with Detroit. But he's got a pretty tall task here. Give me Detroit just to pick an upset. I feel like one upset always happens in the playoffs. Give me Detroit to beat the Dallas Cowboys on the road to set up Detroit and Arizona. And I'm sorry, Trey, I gave you the first upset. I can't give you the second upset. I think D-Money, as long as he doesn't leave, doesn't go on vacation, doesn't go in hibernation that he can do sometimes, give me D-Money to be in his second straight OMFL Bowl. I think I got that right. Third straight OMFL Bowl. He lost the last one. I feel like I may have that wrong. I do have that wrong. Dallas, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm mixing this all up. Either way, D-Money's going to be in the NFC side of the OMFL Bowl number 99. Let's look at the AFC side. Cincinnati Bengals have that team rolling, but Beal has got that team playing really, really well right now. Let's look at what Beal's got here for the seeding. Still alive for the Jets at 9-7, Broncos at 8-8, and that means the Dolphins at 9-7, the Browns at 9-6-1 are not fully set. Everybody else is locked in: Steelers, Chargers, Patriots, Bengals, Jaguars. But those other teams, there's still some flexibility. So let's look at who the Broncos and Jets are going to be playing this week. Broncos, we talked about them. That's right. So Broncos are probably going to lose. I think he's out of town. He plays Minnesota. So that's going to be a game that you wish that we could watch and see who would really win that game. And then you got the Jets at 9-7 playing the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-10 and Shocks. Shocks can upset somebody, and it would not surprise me because he was in the playoffs last year, had that team playing really well. Would not surprise me if he won this game. And then looking at the other teams, you have the Miami Dolphins playing the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, that's going to be pretty tough ass, but Dallas has things shored up, so maybe Dallas goes ahead and plays a bunch of backups. Always interesting to see, do guys want the momentum? Do they want to chance the injuries? If you're like my last game, don't chance the injuries because that was absolutely crazy. And then you got the Browns. Browns are playing the Houston Texans, and I think Rodgers back to playing his games, which is always good to hear. So there's some things that are still pretty fluid in there. And some of me says, unless Dwayne sits everybody, Bill's going to have to earn this one. Jets may have a slightly easier road. I don't know what would happen with the tiebreakers and the conferences and the record. I don't know who actually gets in. I don't know that it would matter. I think the Bengals are one of the top teams, and we'll talk about them in my power rankings. I think the Bengals are going to win that one as the number 2 seed. Then you got the Patriots at 3, Browns at number 6. Browns are playing up and down football, but Sniper has possibly, then again, I didn't watch this game. I don't know the details. Speaking a little out of turn. Maybe Brady sat a bunch of players. Things were locked up for him, but he may have had the upset of the year, beating the undefeated Jacksonville Jaguars to win that game. So I think he's got a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence going into this game against Massimo and the Cleveland Browns. I think he'll win that one. And then Chargers and Steelers, 2 of my favorite teams to watch play here. 2 teams that have a little bit of an up and down, back and forth type of Madden. The last 2 Maddens, I think this is going to be one of the better matchups that we'll see this entire playoffs. Offense versus defense, a passer versus somebody who likes to play cornerback could have some really fun matchups. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think this is a coin flip, though. Flip a coin. Colin could win this one. Jason could win this one. I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this one, even though I'm not going to say that. Okay, so give me the Steelers at the number 5 seed. So Steelers at the 5 would go up to play the Jacksonville Jaguars with the number 1 seed. The Cincinnati Bengals at number 2 would play the New England Patriots at number 3. I'm taking the Patriots in an upset. Same thing that I did on the NFC side. I think the Patriots are going to go to their AFC championship. I want to say their first AFC championship. That may not be right. Even though Denver, I'm pulling for you, and I do think you have a better team. I feel like I got to pick an upset somewhere. Somehow there has to be an upset. Usually one happens in the first round, and maybe the Browns are that upset over the Patriots. And then, I'm sorry, Clyde, or anybody else who plays the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's got a pretty tough road to beat. Like, he just clicks in a lot of cylinders. And again, I think the elite of the elite here just seem to be clicking right now, and it shows in the 2 records of these top 3 teams. I think there's a combined 3 losses for an entire season for the top 3 teams, Jacksonville, Dallas, and Arizona. That's a pretty tough road for anybody to go up against. So give me the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship. I think we're getting another rematch. We're getting Jacksonville versus Arizona. I just don't see anybody beating either of these teams. They're both playing excellent football. Unless something crazy happens, I think those are going to be the teams that represent both of these conferences in the playoffs. And so that's who I'm going to go with. And I guess ultimately I got to pick a winner here. So that's a little bit tougher of a call if I'm going to be totally honest. Playing both of these teams, they both had their way with me. And I played them back-to-back weeks in the last 4 days. They both are excellent, and they seem to do it slightly different. I think it's going to be a hell of a matchup again. I think Arizona's run game and Jacksonville's run game match up really well, but they do it different ways. Jacksonville just kind of hammers it and hits it really hard and just seems to fall forward for 8 years, whereas the Arizona Cardinals I don't know how he does it. I wish I could figure it out. But he just finds every small crease. He's so patient. And before you know, he's got 12 yards. Passing game, though, Arizona will put the ball up for grabs more than the Jacksonville Jaguars, especially whenever it's in a big game, playoff game. I think Jacksonville tightens it up even more. And if I'm honest, I think everybody in the playoffs kind of goes to what works the most. So toss the coin. I'm going to take Arizona, only because I think it's the back and forth thing that we got going here. Arizona, it's Jacksonville. Now it's back to Arizona's turn. I have nothing to really base that on. Just going with my gut. It won't surprise me with either team if they win this game. I think it's going to be an excellent OMFL Bowl, and I'm pulling for all these teams in the playoffs. And now I got a lot of work ahead of me because I got to make a playoff graphic here in just a couple of days. Okay, that brings us to the OMFL news number 1. So let's go ahead and get over to Brady and do the OMFL news.
Welcome to the OMFL News After Dark, or just live with your boy Brady Senior, man. Hey, listen. So I just recorded my final spot just a second ago, but we opening the show up here with some Daddy League talk, and I know stuff is starting to get a little greasy. Okay? Stuff getting a little greasy in the league, right? So we had a little something go down this week. But my final spot, I touched base on that. But right now, I'm getting ready to touch base on power rankings, okay? So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Right now, the number 1 squad is the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2 is the Cowboys. 3 is the Cardinals. 4 is the Lions. 5 is the Bengals. You have 6 is the Falcons. Niners at 7. Vikings at 8. The Patriots at 9. And the Chargers at 10. That right now is the top 10 in the OMFL. All right? You got the Jags. You got the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Chargers. That's the only 4 teams from the AFC still gracing the top 10. AFC, let's rise up and make a statement, okay? And then over there for Players of the Week last week, if I understand correctly, if I'm saying this right, last week, week 13, and I don't know why they keep popping up on the screen. But anyway, week 13, you had Anthony Sports, 9 catches, 212 yards, 2 TDs. Young man showing out, right? And then over there in Tampa Brady, right? You had Antoine Winterville Jr. had 5 tackles, 0 sacks, 2 interceptions, and no forced fumbles. And then he's got this smug-ass look on his face that says, I wish you would. Right? But hey, right now, hey, we'll be right back after this, man. Got a lot to talk about. But boy, you might want to stay tuned. Because boy, it's about to get real. Hey.
No, I hit the wrong button. Brady never holds back. Thank you, Brady, for the OMFL news. We do have a lot to talk about. But first, let's talk about some power rankings. It's funny because Brady's first segment was all about his power rankings as he looked over at Daddy Leagues and did his power rankings. I want to talk about mine, though. So let's get over here to my power rankings. Well, where'd Nate put them? There they are. Okay. So these are my power rankings. Again, I've talked about my top 3 teams. I don't think either of those 3 or the order of those 3 are going to shock you. It was my bottom 2 that I kind of struggled with because I felt like a lot of teams could be in there. I think some teams deserve to be in there. And the 2 that made it were kind of a coin flip. I kind of view them as 4A and 4B instead of 4 and 5, but that's not how math works. And so let me go ahead and unveil my team number 5 here. The Detroit Lions and Trey. Trey has been one of the more consistent players for quite some time now. He's really become a great GM, a guy that manages his team. He knows his style. He knows what he needs to win, and he goes out there and finds it. And I'm pulling for Trey to finally win an OMFL Bowl here one day because he's worked really hard. We've seen Brady do it. He grinded for so many years here. He finally got, he is at the tippy top of his game, but finally got a championship. And I know that Trey will win one here one day. He is my team number 5 in the Commissioner Power Rankings. Team number 4, Denbrew and the Cincinnati Bengals, another team that just makes me happy to talk about. Like, Denbrew is just an amazing human being, and we're really lucky to have him here. I'm very lucky to have him a part of our leadership and helping. He is a leader among leaders, and if you have not taken time to reach out to Denbrew to get to know him, then you're doing yourself a disfavor. You need to, and I'm glad that he's got his Cincinnati Bengals rolling and playing really, really good football right now. They're playing excellent, and it's starting to show with the record. And I'm pulling for you in the playoffs. I hope that you go to your first AFC Championship game and see what happens once you get there. But you got a little bit of an uphill climb there, but who knows? We've seen some crazy things happen in Madden before. Coming in at my team number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals and Denbrew. Now we get into the elite of the elite. I do think there's a gap between those 2 teams and everyone else, and then these top 3 teams. We'll spit it out. Sorry, we're struggling tonight, but we're going to get there. Number 3, the Dallas Cowboys and D. Wayne. Talk about the face of consistency, the guy who just seems to know. He's got it figured out, man. Like a lot of the teams here on our power rankings, they just know exactly the style they need to play, and they're at the top of their game. I feel like sometimes older guys like me, we struggle with keeping up with you younger guys because you're in your prime, and my hand-eye coordination isn't as there like you guys are. And some guys just like it comes naturally. D. Wayne is one of the teams that comes naturally. He's a great play caller. He is a great GM, but you don't see him do a lot of moves. He kind of keeps his team together. He may go out and make a couple cap casualty moves, but he knows how to play this game. I can't wait to see how the NFC playoffs play over because of the Dallas Cowboys and the role they play. They haven't really been the elite of the elite in the playoffs, right? We haven't seen that from D. Wayne in a couple of seasons. Is this the season that he can get right back to another OMFL Bowl and be a consistent elite of the elite? He's always been in the top 5 here pretty easy all the time. There's a difference between being in the top 5, top 10, and the top 2. And D. Wayne is used to being in the top 2. We'll see if he can get there again. Coming in at number 2, the Arizona Cardinals. And I won't lie, he gets this because he has earned it. From what he did last season, his OMFL championship, the undefeated streak of 17-0 this season, he earns being here. I know he lost or not lost. The Arizona Cardinals have a loss on their record as well. He deserves being here. He deserves being at the top of this list. But I put him at number 2. Because I get caught up in the here and now, and you lost, Brady. Sorry, I had to show loss a little love. The truth is, it's a 1A, 1B, and Brady probably deserves to be number 1. Why am I talking about Brady? What am I doing here? I'm drunk. That's what I am. I'm drunk. I need to go to bed. You ever have one of those days you're just frustrated all the time? That's me today. I just frustrated the whole day. Nothing has worked out. I'm sitting here talking about Brady because I'm looking up and I forgot the Arizona Cardinals. Brady is number 1 on my list because he does earn it. I know he just lost. Arizona Cardinals are number 2 on my list because they're 1B, 1A and 1B. The Arizona Cardinals are playing excellent football. He always plays excellent football. And sometimes it feels it's when he takes the playoffs off to give the league a break from all his winning because he won like those 8 in a row, whatever it was, a couple of Maddens ago. But Brady's number 1 on my list, like I was saying, because he deserves it. I know he just lost. I don't know what I was talking about a second. I lost my mind. I had a stroke, but I'm back here. Brady deserves to be number 1 because he earned it. He deserves it. And this is my matchup for the OMFL this year for the bowl. Again, I think it'll be a great matchup. I think it'll be a toss-up to see who wins that game. Let's go talk to Mr. Brady with the OMFL. When I hit the button to go back to play the OMFL news. OBS crash. Just not my last couple of weeks here, boys. Let's go to the OMFL News number 2, and when we come back, we'll look at the mailbag. If we have any questions, we're going to do a little Commissioner's Corner, and I got some news to drop before we get on out of here.
Hey, what they say about you? Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Brady Sr. giving you the OMFL News. And we getting ready to talk about that way too soon playoff race. And we gonna go ahead and kind of try and combine the two just to kind of give you a little rundown. But let's go ahead and dive right into it here real quick. Let me click some buttons here. Let's get some stuff up. All right, the two number 1 seeds are the Jaguars and the Cowboys. Automatically get the bye. Then, of course, you got the Bengals going against the Cleveland Browns. You got the Cardinals going against the Panthers, 2-7. At 3, you have the Patriots going against number 6, the Jets. Over in the NFC, you got the Lions going against the Minnesota Vikings as of right now. And then the final matchups, you have the Chargers going against them Steelers. And then you got them Falcons going against them Niners, right? And then the bubble teams for the AFC, you got the Dolphins at 8. Broncos at 9, Chiefs at 10. And then on the NFC side, you got the Bears at 8, the Saints at 9, and the Bucks at 10. But that's the too soon playoff race. But while I got you on, because, hey, the last take is going to be the last take, right? So let me go ahead and squeeze this right on in here right now. And let's talk about the game of the week. Because if I understand correctly, hey, boom, 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 boom. Hey, what? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I think I'm in the wrong slide. Hold on. That can't possibly. Yeah, it was the Niners. Anyway, game of the week was against the Chargers, or the Cardinals versus the Niners. I'm trying to squeeze this in real fast, right? 37-14 was the final score in favor of D-Money and them boys. And the winning squad, Kyler Murray was 13 for 15, 217 for 1 TD, no pick. Walford, the running back, had 14 carries, 51 yards, 1 TD. Kirk had 4 catches, 57 yards, and 1 TD. And Simmons had 6 tackles on the day. Over on the losing squad, you had Lance was 15 for 28, 254, 1 TD, 3 interceptions. Throw it to your own jerseys, my brother. And then Lance also somehow, some way had the rushing numbers to go with it, but I'm not sure why. But Lance had 1 carry, 35 yards, 1 TD. And then lastly, you had Mr. Thomas, 4 catches, 46 yards, 1 TD. And Mr. Warner with 4 tackles on the day. That was the game of the week. That was the way too soon playoff race. And I'm on time because the last take is just my point of view.
Brady never holds back. Why do I keep saying that? Because he doesn't. He also makes me laugh when he's falling over, because I'm right there with you, Brady. This is hard. It's hard to do your own production, to think about what you're saying, to try to be entertaining. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces that kind of come together. It's a whole lot easier if you could just, like, you know what you're talking about. You can just turn the camera on and you get to just talk and be entertaining. Not so easy when you're trying to think through about production and what buttons need to be pushed and what is this right, is that right, and it makes everything much more difficult. There were no news things. What am I talking about? There were no questions in the OMFL mailbag. We're going to have to get that going. The mailbag has been light this entire season, and so hopefully we'll get the mailbag going back again. I think the lack of mailbag has been a little bit on me because I haven't been able to be live as much this year. There's been a lot more recorded videos this year because of my stupid internet situation. So hopefully you guys will get back in with me. A couple of things I did want to talk about before we move to the last segment, which will be about the things. We know the things. We're going to talk about the things. Let's get over here. All right, let's get some music back up here. playoffs are here, and that's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to kind of dive right into it, and hopefully we'll get to call some playoff games. We'll see exactly how that goes, but really going to try to get focused for these playoffs. Bringing back the OMFL draft show, that'll be a ton of fun. I can't wait to kind of bring that back. A lot of good things. There's a lot of things in the works. Let me talk about FPR. So we introduced a bunch of new players in the last month. I think we've got 5 or 6 new players. When you look at 32 guys, though, and you look at our longevity over the last, I'd say 3 years, we've been doing pretty good. And I think it's a mixture of some folks who had alternative motives and want to go do their own thing, and good luck to them. And me kind of, this has been a tough Madden to find owners with, just flat out. Go look at Daddy Leagues, go look at League Crawler, go look at EA Sports, go to any Discords. If it's very hard to keep 32 guys together for this Madden, it's even harder to find new owners. And because of that, I was allowing and bringing back some older, familiar faces. I love giving opportunities, and like, things go bad sometimes and disagreements happen and people have to go do their own thing. I've done that here. When I was in the OMFL and the PC League, PlayStation 3 League, and PlayStation 4 League, there were times that I took breaks because of disagreements, frustrations. The game just needs to walk away for a bit. And so I'm always like trying to welcome people back. We'll talk more about this a little bit later, but because of that, when a group of old faces decided to leave and this Madden has hurt recruiting, it's just been hard to find people. And I've been struggling, and we're going to keep struggling because the Madden is what the Madden is. And we've got the game that we've got, and a lot of people put it down and moved on with their lives. And even competitive players have put this game down and moved on. And so I don't know it's going to get any better. Because of that, 2 things. Number 1, I don't think we're going to play throughout the summer. We may. Not saying a decision has been made, but I'm going to have to see the energy pick up. I'm going to have to see the content pick up. I'm going to have to see people jump in. If not, season 100 may be our last until we just break for the summer. Take a break from this Madden, go play some other games, keep maybe a summer league going like we did last year. We had a summer league going just for fun, just to make content. Maybe we do some tournaments because there's exciting news I'm going to announce here in a little bit. WWE game will be out. There'll be some new shooters out. So there'll be some things that we can do to keep people engaged, keep people excited, keep people part of the community, keep the chat going. We'll have the USFL to talk about. There'll be things to go, but maybe we just take a break from Madden. We'll see. We'll see how season 100 goes. That's where I'm leaning. You guys can determine exactly what happens. The other thing is introducing a bunch of new players who maybe FPR-wise are not quite ready, or maybe they're old faces who left because of FPR issues, and we're still trying to figure those things out. We have to be patient with one another, and I got to give a shout out to Trey. Hopefully I'm not putting him on the spot, but a shout out to Trey for just his attitude. He's got a group of new owners, and there's some FPR issues that we're still working through.
Smash that like and subscribe.
It's just like we have a specific style of gameplay and a specific set of rules that guide how we think about gameplay, and not everybody sees that perspective, and sometimes it takes time to get there. And Trey, I just think, has handled things really well. And so shout out to him. Shout out to everybody. I have fallen way behind on FPR court. I'm a team of 1 right now, and we have a great board, but I just don't have any help with FPR right now. And so I'm way behind, forms behind. I'm going to try to catch up this week and do my very best to catch up this week, but I'm a team of 1 as a pastor, as a dad, as a father, as a husband, like all the things that we are. I'm not sitting here crying and asking for sympathy, but things fall through the cracks. And I'm going to be having some conversation this week about, could we change things to make them more effective and efficient? But rules and gameplay and losses and guys doing things that other guys think is cheese or cheating, it's always going to be there. And you mix that in with personalities that don't click, maybe guys who just don't try to get to know one another, and then gameplay frustrations begin to add up, and we get like just guys who just don't want to play each other, right? And that just leads to ugliness on the field. That's always going to be here. It's always going to be a tension, and we have to manage whether we have FPR court or whether we have something else. And so be patient with one another. For the new guys, if you watch this, be understanding. We have a style of gameplay. And if you're going to play here, you got to fit that style. And it's not that your style may be right or wrong. We just have a style here that we play by. And the expectations are that you fit our style, or you could go play somewhere else. That's not a threat or anything. It's just you either want to play our style or you don't want to play our style. And our style is created over years and years and years of gameplay, and this is the way that we feel like is the fairest way to play football. There has definitely been some changes, especially around wide receiver catches and where the ball goes, and I've even gotten confused by what the official rule is. And so we're working on getting some clarity, and we'll pass that out for the playoffs and for season 100. But be kind to one another, be understanding to one another, and let's work through FPR issues without using, words that slap at one another. And we know how to do that, right? It's the internet. You guys know my gimmick on that. I think we kind of treat each other meanly in some ways because we're internet and we don't really know each other, and we don't have real relationships, like intimate, face-to-face, tangible relationships. They're always a notch below because they're through the internet, and because of that, we kind of slap at each other, and we use words, name calling, just stuff that we don't need to be. I had a conversation with the owner today that, said he's being a crybaby. I was like, I hear you. I get the frustration. But let's not start using words to label people that we don't want to use. We just don't need it. We don't need to do that. And thinking like that and doing that kind of stuff, even through typing a text, you go into the next game thinking this guy's a crybaby, hateful, mean, it just ends badly. So be patient, be kind to one another. Let's let the system work, and be understanding to me. I'm a team of one right now, and FPR has always been the hardest place, that in scheduling, 1A and 1B, to keep owners in leadership roles, because they're just a tough job to do. And my life comes in seasons, and right now I'm in a season of being extremely busy, and I'm grinding long hours right now. So just be patient with me and understand. Second, more exciting news before we get to our last OMFL news, and hopefully leave you inspired, excited, and ready to continue to grow the OMFL. That is our friends at Evolve Sports. We are going to officially enter an official partnership this week, hopefully in the next 10 days. I know that we interviewed them a couple of weeks ago. They were on Press Pass Live. I guess it's been a couple of months now. And we're going to officially create some type of official partnership. I've been lucky to meet some really amazing human beings. And when I meet really awesome people, I immediately try to create spots for them in the work that I'm doing and the work they're doing, and how do those things intersect, and how can we blend those things together. And I think that's the tough part about online gaming, streaming, Madden especially, is it's very competitive. And I feel like people who run either Discords or websites, and I'm putting myself in that group, get competitive of they want to be the best. We want to be the best. Say we, Nate. We want to be the best. Even though I try not to strive to be the best, we want to build our own thing and surround it with our people and say that we built this. I'm kind of beyond that, but I can't say that I've looked for ways to dissolve grown folks and blend it with something else. And that just really hasn't even been an opportunity for me. There hasn't been something else for us to blend into. And so I've been constantly trying to see if people would want to come and add to the assets that we have here, because I feel like I will create a platform for people to lead, to create content, to shine. And that as a whole creates a really amazing place, and a place of gaming for adults. Some of those amazing people are Brian and his wife. I feel like I'm going to say their last name wrong, even though that's what they both go by on Discord. And so Brian, I'm just going to avoid messing any of that up. But we've been talking for quite some time. And I think we're going to officially enter into a partnership. So they're going to be a part of Discord. We're going to create some new channels. Hopefully we're going to start creating some tournaments and stuff. They're just doing some amazing stuff around tournaments, around some out of the box ideas of creating easy onboards and offboards for people to play games, and a lot of really amazing calling of games and things. And so whether it's WWE, Madden, 2K, shooters, NHL, I think there's a lot of really cool things, and we're working out the details of exactly what this will look like. But Evolve Sports and Grown Folks will enter into a real official partnership capacity here in the real soon, more than us promoting their stuff and them promoting our stuff, but really like, how do we create a platform where we can let everybody shine? And I'm really excited about seeing how that's going to happen and how that'll kind of play itself out. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's really, really great news. And hopefully, Brian, we can get you and maybe even your wife to come on the next Grown Folks Live that we'll do this Friday. Hopefully, if the internet plays nice, we'll come live in the morning and have them come be a part of that. Okay, let's get over to Brady in our last OMFL news section. I'm going to do a commissioner's corner, and then we'll wrap this whole thing up. And then I got to go edit because I got to blend these two videos together, such as life.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Brady Senior giving you the OMFL news. And I love Birdie. I ain't even gonna say it like that. A lot of shit just went down in this league, man, where a lot of people dipset, right? A lot of these moves were supposed to happen last season, but they waited, and now they happen. So now we got a lot of new bodies in the league. You know, a lot of questions of, oh man, this person gonna be able to, you know, manage and get to where they need to be and perform how they need to perform. Trust the process, man. It'll happen. Yeah, look at me. Okay, season 97. Hot ass mess ending. Now, I still stand by my motherfucking actions. But a hot ass mess ending, right? It fell a little short. Disconnected from certain things and certain people. And, you know, did what I needed to do to kind of course correct myself. Came up with my nice little sheet. You know, to kind of keep track of some certain things to make sure I stay FPR efficient. The fact that I find some info a little pertinent that you tried to get me. You tried to get me. But I need you to understand something. You ain't get me. I'm still here. You feel me? I'm still here. After all these cycles, after all the back talk, after all the shits, I'm still here. Why do you want to be here, Brady? That's the question I get. Why are you still here? Man, why are you still here? Because this is home. So I'm always gonna be here until it shuts down. But that's just it. You was hoping it was shutting down. Nah, man. We ain't shutting down. You just gave us a whole new purpose. I actually tried to vote myself off this island. And you still couldn't get me. So now, welcome to the new OMFL. We have a purpose, we have a plan, and we gonna go full steam ahead. You either with us or you not. Love to have you here, but when you come here, make sure you come correct. He might not say it, but that's how I'm gonna say it. I'm out.
No, Brady. So I've been torn here because this has happened for quite some time now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. This happened a couple weeks ago, and I'm torn, to be totally honest with you. I'm just gonna talk, and I gotta wrap this up. We real long. I gotta go edit 2 videos. I need to go shoot some people on a video game just to let some frustrations out, even though I can stay up late tonight. First and foremost, I'm a Christian at my core. I'm a pastor. I love to connect. This is what I love to do. I love to walk right alongside people, build very real, close, authentic relationships, see how I can share my story, my resources, the opportunities I have, even small platforms, whether they're work, church, here, to make them a better person, and just walk alongside of them. And hopefully in that walk, they will reveal to them their spiritual walk to me, and I can help them get to know my Father. Because ultimately, I think the best life, if there is no heaven, if there is no hell, this is still the best life that you could absolutely try to live. But I believe there's way more to life than what we just feel, touch, hear, see, smell. And so it's an important part. I want people to have that walk with our Father so He can stretch you, grow you, pull out purpose, fulfillment. But I'm also Nate, and I'm not Jesus. And I'm not fully God and fully human. I'm all human. And so you guys know how I am. Loyalty speaks to me. I try to be a really good leader, and I'm constantly growing my leadership and looking at my leadership and how can I be better. And you can ask the board. I'm constantly, even the guys who are no longer here, which would be easy to label as enemies, but I don't even want to give them that much credit. But over my 22 years of doing this, anyone, whether they're a fan of me or not a fan of me, if they've served with me, they can tell you I do checkups all the time. Check me. Is there a system? Is there me? Is there something I'm doing? Ask Dwayne. I'm constantly asking him. I'm wanting feedback. I want to be a great leader for men and for women, and I want to create a platform that is serving them in a way that is allowing them to be the best version of themselves. But the human Nathan wants to get on here and tell those dudes what I think about them. Then I remember how many times I've messed up, how much mercy and grace I need. And here's the mind twist for me. The thing that has changed how I interact with people for many years now, probably I'd say the last 3 or 4 years. Me turning on this camera, it would feel good. It'd be great clickbait. It may even re-energize some guys here. It wouldn't change one thing about those humans. No human has ever heard someone go off and be put in their place or be told what others think about them and went, oh, they right, I'm gonna change. So since I know that nothing would change those guys, I'm gonna tap into a scripture that I don't know if I even use it correctly, but I'm asking the Father constantly, don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't take what's valuable and important to you and let a pig play with it. There are levels to this, and people get to choose what levels they play. And for them, I may be on a bottom below pig level. But for me, speaking to them, speaking to the situation, brings light, lifts them up, gives them the attention that honestly they just don't deserve. You either with us and you get it and you want to be here and you want to create a community where men and women can come play a video game and you build relationships and you are adding to this community, or you like those who left, who added nothing here, zero, zilch, zero, nothing. Ain't one thing that we're going to miss because of those people that left, except for bad energy, bad karma, bad attitudes. And some of you are still in my community. And I won't lie, I've had to ask for help on that. It has been a real struggle. It's been a struggle to see your name in my community because you don't deserve to be in my community, flat out. I'm probably wrong. I feel conviction even just saying that because I want to like you and I think that you're good humans, but what you did was wrong, flat out. Plain and simple. And that's the last I'm speaking to it. Moving on. Here's an overall guiding principle for anyone who wants to know how I think. Number one, I want loyalty. I deserve loyalty. I create a space where I am loyal to others and I deserve that back and I expect that back. And people who are not loyal, well, you got to go. This is not a place for it. It doesn't make you mad or evil or mean or mean or evil or mad. It's beyond that. We're adults. It just means that you don't fit the culture that I've created here. And there's some guys that didn't fit the culture for a long time, and I held on to you, hoping that you would change, hoping that you would get it, hoping that you would come along. And I had some of the most mind-melting, frustrating conversations. I'm excited about the new opportunities that we have here. I expect the leagues and the leaders that are in this community to be loyal. And I hate to say it, there are going to be changes in 2022 when we get ready for the new Madden, for Madden 2023, the summertime, after we kind of get through the summer. Because I want people in this community who get the culture that we're building. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's totally cool, but you need to go do something somewhere else because this won't be the community. The reason I am working so hard for Evolve Sports to be here is because those people get it, because they have built a community. They didn't have to go take other people's owners. They didn't have to go take other people's members. That's the word I'm trying to get at. They didn't have to go take other people's members to build their community. They built it themselves. And for anyone who has to go send underhanded, in the dark messages to guys who play here, trying to get them to leave so you could shut us down, you got more wrong with you than I can help you through a video camera, on a YouTube video, on a podcast, and through a league. You need real serious help. This ain't that important. If this all goes away tonight, I'm good. I'll miss it. I'll miss the relationships deeply, but I'm good. You're not good. You need this spotlight. You need this shine. You need somebody to tap you on the back and tell you how important you are, how smart you are. You need somebody to come rub your back and call you commish. I don't need that stuff. I do it because I'm serving the men that are in this community and the women in the community, the men in this league. Wish we had some women football players, but we don't. I'm here to serve. And that word commissioner means that I serve them. I create content when I'm tired, when I'm sick, when I'm frustrated with technology. I spend thousands of dollars to make my stuff look halfway presentable. I take time away from my wife. I take care of my stuff. I make sure that my life ain't out of balance, but I serve this community. Some of you spit in my face. It sucks. It sucks that you're still in my community, and it sucks because one day I know you'll realize what would happen and what took place, and it just won't be another opportunity. I will put it on record right now. Unless something drastically changed, I don't say 100% on anything, never say never. Those names that left will never be back in the OMFL or the Deuce, as far as I'm here. That is just facts. This was personal. This felt personal. And for those of you who say it wasn't personal, I'm sorry. You can't separate the two. That's something you tell yourself to make yourself feel better. It ain't real. This was personal. It was wrong. And Brady said it perfectly. We are moving forward. And if you want an opportunity to step into something real cool, to be on the cutting edge of Madden and creating content, creating engagement, if you're looking to step into some of that, then this is the place for you. If you're looking to make some cool relationships, meet some awesome people, but what we're about to do at Evolve Sports, Brian and his wife and his team, they're going to be adding some super cool things here. Saying about being the best Madden league. Saying about being the best commissioner. That's fake. Ain't nobody even, Twitter's not a real place. Daddy Leagues is not a real place. Discord's not a real place. You can't go there. There's no real reward or award that can be handed to you to say that you're number one. What you are is petty and angry, and you need to get some help with that. And I'm praying for you. I really mean that. And for those of you still here in the OMFL, this is the last I will talk about this. I will not mention them, and I don't want to mention them. And if you play there and you're a part of that group, good luck to you. Wish you the best. I really do. I really do. But don't do anything underhanded, because I'll protect this community. I'll protect this culture. And I love every one of you. And I love those dudes, man. I was not angry at any of them. And one of them was family. I'm not, there's no anger in anything I'm saying. Life is too short for that stuff. But at the same time, I'm not going to invite Judas to come sit at my table. So whatever your reason, if you need to label me the bad guy, you do that. But I really hope there's a community we can figure out. Number one, as an OMFL community, we can figure out if we want to be here. And I think everybody here wants to be here. So let's go do this thing. Let's go create a freaking amazing experience. I'm going to keep pumping out content. We'll work on FPR. We'll figure out the games. We'll figure out all this other stuff. We're doing some cool stuff in this community. And whether it's our leaders here, Dim Brew, Lost Sniper, and D. Wayne, Little Koch, my guy Roger, one of the best humans you could ever meet. Like, these are men among men among men. And even Brady, like, we've had our moments. Brady and I have had our moments. Brady will tell you. Now, I'm guessing he'll tell you. I don't know. My perspective, he'll tell you. Nate ain't never lied to him. I ain't never told him one thing and went and said something behind his back. That's just, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. I'm sure I've done some stupid things that I would look back and go, oh, why did I do that? That's stupid. But most of the time, I'm on the up and up. And Brady came to me. He talked about it. He came to me. He said, put me up for a boot vote. I said, I don't want to do that. He said, do it. And I was frustrated with him. He was frustrated with me. I put it up. I voted to keep him and told him as much. The people who left, who told him to come with him, they voted to remove him. I find that funny. You voted when you was here to remove the guy. You talk crap in my board chat about these owners, but you messaged them to come help you build a league that was dead. That's funny, right? That's real funny to me. I just find that comical. God bless you though, man. Really hope. Because what is done in the dark is brought to the light every single time. And I am not perfect in any stretch of the means, but I'm a damn good guy. I'm a damn good leader. And I've built this community. I built this league of the foundation of being authentic and real and straightforward with people and creating a safe space. And that's why I hang on to guys that some of you would have gotten rid of a long time ago, because you never know when it clicks. I think this is the best place to play Madden. Hands down, period. not number one. Not that there are other good leagues that fit good for other owners. My view is that we have created a place that anyone can step in, build relationships, play Madden in a fun atmosphere, and have a damn good time doing it. So why would I remove somebody from that unless they just do something that I have to remove them? Either the same conversation over and over and over, and now it's affecting other good owners, or, we've removed one guy, that said something on stream that you just, you go do something real stupid, then that's on you, right? So, rant over. OMFL strong. We're going to hit season 100 in a couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks, because you guys are monsters in the playoffs. And we're going to keep moving forward. And Grown Folks is growing. And we've got amazing humans here. Pooty and some of those guys in our shooters, those are just awesome dudes. I want you to be a part of this. And it's the last we're going to talk about it. We're moving on. They don't deserve my energy, my effort, or even any of my thoughts. And just so that you know, because I don't even know if they'll watch this. But yeah, you're blocked everywhere. Because I'm moving on. You have disqualified yourself from being in my life. That's on you, not on me. I didn't do this. I was on the up and up. I had very real conversations. Y'all all decide to do this. And for those of you still in my community, save your fingers, save your message. It won't be read. I'm moving on. You should move on as well. But I don't need to make fake Twitter accounts to send underhanded messages. I don't need to do that. What's done in the dark is going to be brought to the light. I love you guys. We got some exciting things happening here. Season 99 playoffs are here. We're going to call some games. Hopefully, my internet lets me. We're going to call some games. We're going to have a great OMFL draft. We're going to do media days again. The all 22 is going to be about FPR. I'm trying to break down some FPR to help people. We're going to catch up on some things. A lot of cool content being created. And then Brian, his team, and what they're adding here. Brian and Susan, I think I got that right. And their team and what they're adding here from Evolve Sports just gets me really excited because those are good people. So I hope you pick up the jersey. I hope you come wear the jersey with me. And it doesn't make you a bad guy if you take the jersey off one day and go wear another jersey. It just means you want to go play somewhere else. That's totally cool. People have left here and done it the right way, and it's cool. There's no solo relationship, right? But when you do things the wrong way, yeah, I'm going to protect mine. I'm going to protect the people that want to be here. I'm going to protect the people who want to build this culture. So I hope that you continue to want to be a part of what we're doing. Sorry for this being a recording. Sorry that it's coming out super late because I'm having to put 2 recordings together. I love you. You matter. Don't listen to the world. Don't listen to your situation or your circumstance. You freaking matter. You matter to me. You matter to this league. You matter to this community. And I appreciate you being here. I cannot wait to see you on the next one, okay? Take care. We'll see you then.
Smash that like and subscribe.